Middlesex County Improvement Authority. Welcome and thank you for attending. Let's begin with a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. And would you do a roll call, please?
Absolutely. Chairman Nolan.
Here.
Commissioner Rosinski.
Here.
Commissioner Abbey.
Here.
Commissioner D'Agostino.
Here.
Great. And Sunshine Law, Ann?
Before we get to the Sunshine Law statement, Chairman, I'd like to go through our other professionals on the call with us today.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
We have Ms. Carol Burns, our custodian of records and senior project manager, along with our special bond counsel, Bakari Lee, our CFO, Mr. William Brennan, and our consultant, George Devaney, who deals with our press releases, along with our executive director, Mr. James Polos.
Terrific. All right. Now the Sunshine Law.
You got it. This meeting today conforms with Chapter 231, Public Law of 1975, called the Open Public Meetings Act. And as per the requirements of the statute, notification of the meeting was published in Star Ledger and Home News Tribune and filed with the clerk of Middlesex County.
Thank you. Okay, do we have, looks like committee reports. So Jim, we have a recycling report?
Yeah, I can advise you that the contractor has been back to full strength. The quality of the return and so forth has been great. They've been on target with getting the materials picked up in a timely fashion. And we've kind of weathered that difficult storm that we had a couple of months ago when everyone was suffering from some labor shortages. So we're back on track and things are going in the right direction. I should note that we have, as I mentioned at the last meeting, we've really substantially upgraded our systems and the GPS tracking GPS system that we're able to use from the county for mapping and so forth has really made a big difference as we integrate that into the tablets that the board authorized us to purchase a couple of years ago and kind of really made our system much more technically proficient. So things are moving in the right direction.
Great, thank you. Tim, do you have any other committee reports?
Just give you a quick update on the train station, Chairman, with your permission. So we had our monthly meeting just a week ago and our tech advisory meeting, which we do every 2 weeks, yesterday. We have settled in on an actual location for the platform, and the appropriate permit fees have been submitted to Amtrak. We're hopeful that in less than 2 weeks, they're going to allow our engineer now onto the property to start to do the actual surveying work. That's the detail that's necessary in order to do all the detailed plans and start to really get into the guts of the design. So we're hopeful that should be happening within the next 10 days to 2 weeks, and we'll be able to report something more considerable at the next month's meeting after they've been able to be on site and be able to really hone in on exact location and some of the details of the design.
Okay, that's pretty exciting. Do we have any correspondence, Jim?
No, sir.
Any old business?
No,
No.
sir.
No. Any new business?
No.
All right. And how about some resolutions?
You got it, Chairman. During item 8C, I'm going to allow for Mr. Bakari Lee to elaborate a little bit. Just bear with me while I get through these lengthy titles. Item 8A is a resolution of the MCIA authorizing the issuance of the County Guaranteed Parking Revenue Bond, Series 2022, for the Carteret Parking Project. Item 8B is a resolution of the MCIA authorizing certain actions and approving certain documents related to the proposed issuance of the authority's County Guaranteed Parking Revenue Bond, Series 2022, associated with the Carteret Parking Project again. Item 8C is resolution of the MCIA authorizing consent and amendment of various projects, documents in connection with the transfer of the limited partner interest for NCC Delta Company to North Brunswick Housing Corporation. With that being said, Bakari, can you just kindly elaborate on that item for us?
Sure, and glad to do it. And just to be clear, well, first of all, good evening, Commissioner. It's a pleasure to be here. And I just want to confirm that I'm only speaking to what you read as item 8C,
Yes,
which is
absolutely.
North Brunswick. Okay, great, awesome. Commissioners, I'll give you a little bit of background on what this is. It's relatively straightforward and cost neutral and non-recourse to the authority. As you probably know, in 1994, the Mcia issued its $8.3 million of North Brunswick taxable guaranteed revenue bonds. Those bonds have the benefit of a full faith and credit guarantee of the Township of North Brunswick. The bonds were issued to fund various costs of construction of a senior citizens housing development located in the township. In addition to the bonds, low-income housing tax credits were awarded to finance the project. A legal entity called the North Brunswick Housing Urban Renewal Limited Partnership is the project owner entity, the legal entity that owns the project. The North Brunswick Housing Corporation is the nonprofit developer and managing member of the partnership. Another entity called NCC Delta Company is the tax credit investor and limited member of the partnership. They're there to take advantage, to provide equity and take advantage of the low-income housing tax credits. The tax credits have been fully realized at this point, and as such, NCC Delta Company has requested that North Brunswick Housing Corporation acquire NCC's limited partnership interests. NBHC has agreed to do so, and as a result, this transaction, the acquisition by North Brunswick Housing Corporation of the limited partner interests of NCC Delta Company, require the consent of the MCIA and the township, as well as amendments to various project documents. So the resolution that you have before you this evening authorizes this transaction, provides the consent of MCIA, as well as the execution of amendments to various project documents. I will restate that this is cost neutral to MCIA and non-recourse to MCIA. The township guarantee remains in place. All other facets of the transaction remain in place and intact. I am glad to answer any questions from the commissioners.
Any of the commissioners have any questions? Okay, seeing that there are no questions, we shall continue. And thank you.
Item 8D for presentation tonight is a resolution of the MCIA approving representatives as commissioners to the Middlesex County Joint Health Insurance Fund, followed by item 8E, the resolution for the MCIA authority authorizing the services of Robert Half International, and followed by our resolution for the payment of expenses.
Terrific. Okay. Can I have a vote for the approval of minutes? A motion, please, for the approval of the minutes of our February 9th meeting.
Motion, Christine.
Thank you, Christine.
Paul.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
None opposed? It shall pass. Okay, public comments on resolutions only. This is just on resolutions.
At this time, if our attendees would like to contribute during the session, please press *9. We do have a hand raised.
Is that our friend Charlie? Charlie, are you there?
Yes, it is me, Mr. Chairman. How are you tonight?
Good. Welcome, Charlie. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. A little confused, though. The resolutions I see on the agenda are 8A, 8B, and 8C. I don't see any others. Were these
You don't see
additional
D?
ones? No.
I'm sorry, Charlie.
No.
You don't see D, E, and F?
No, I don't. And I'm on the county website clicking on the March 9th meeting agenda, and I don't see.
I know there was an amendment. Ann, what can you tell us about that?
Yes, there was an amendment to 8D. I believe that was on the draft that was posted on the website, so that should have just been a clerical error. That resolution is for our representatives for the Joint Health Insurance Fund, which is on an annual basis. The people appointed to this board is Ms. Donna Smith from our Roosevelt Care Centers, along with John De Lorenzo, and serving as an alternate is William Brennan. And then the resolution for authorizing the services of Robert Half International is to contract an employee for a specialized position that required expertise and was time sensitive to fill.
Okay, well, I think I see the problem here. I see on my copy, which is the copy available to the public on the MCIA website, 8C just kind of cuts off in the middle. It says the services of Robert Half Internation. You're telling me that's actually Robert Half International. And
Yes,
I guess
sir.
while we're on the topic, can you tell me what special services are being provided here, and who's this person coming on board?
So, through you, Chairman, if I may.
Yes.
One of our valued members of the MCIA, who's the finance director, is transitioning out of that role and accepting a new role with a different entity. With that being said, since it was a higher level position, we used this service to ensure that the candidate was qualified and there was a guarantee to make sure that we found the right person for the job. I believe that we were successful, and our executive director can indicate when this candidate is starting. He may be starting next week. I'm unsure about that.
That's correct, Ann. This is again to find someone for the person for financial operations manager, very detailed position. Wanted to make sure we found the right person with the right talent and skill set. And Rob, this company is helping us do that. They have identified an individual that we have starting this week.
All right, so it sounds like they're doing an employment search or helping us to find the right candidate. Is that correct?
That's correct. They've done an exhaustive search. We've had quite a bit of interviews and looks and so forth, and I've identified the individual which is starting with us this week.
Great. Okay, Charlie, any follow-up?
Great, yeah, I did just want to know the name of the new financial operations manager.
We've just finalized it. We're working on, I don't know if I could even.
Yeah, at this point in time, he's still
Sure, yeah.
he hasn't formally retained his position, but once that has been accepted, Charlie, we will provide you with the name of that public employee.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, Ann, I could provide it today. It's fine by me. I think we've made it definitive, so it's up to you, however you want to do that.
If you've made it definitive, then if we've offered and he's accepted,
Right.
then I don't
Sure,
have a problem with disclosing it.
Sure. His name is Richard Gatto. He's a seasoned, experienced accountant with an enormous amount of controller and seasoned accounting experience.
Okay, terrific. All right, Charlie, we good?
Yeah, on the resolutions, that's all. I just hope
Okay.
that I can get a copy of the agenda sent to me before the meeting, so that.
I could send that to you in a few moments, Charlie.
Okay, thank you.
All right, great. All right, thank you, Charlie. Anyone else from the public with comments on resolutions only? Okay.
No one else has their hands raised.
All right, great. So then we don't have anybody else, then we're going to have a vote to approve the resolutions. Can I have a motion?
Motion, Christine.
And a second?
Second.
Tony? All right. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. All right, so it passes.
Chairman?
Yeah. Yes.
Chairman, I apologize, but as I was just looking at the spelling of the name, it's actually pronounced Galati and not Gatto, so so my apologies. I just wanted to make sure I was completely forthcoming with it. It's Galati, Rich Galati. So my apologies for the error.
Charlie, don't publish the wrong name, Charlie. All right. Let's see. Now we have payment of vouchers. Can I have a motion to pay vouchers?
Motion. I second it.
All right. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? None?
Soulmate is connected. Bluetooth off.
Okay. All right. Public session. So we are now opening the floor to public comments from the public. Do we have anyone from the public that would like to comment?
Yes, we have one person.
All right, Charlie, if that's you, welcome back.
Yes,
All right, what do you got?
Following up on the school project here in New Brunswick, wanted to see if anybody had any insight onto how much of the $55 million has been spent and what happens if the $55 million runs out before the project is finished. Who is on the hook to complete the project.
Jim, do you have an answer to that?
I believe that it's that the way that it's been developed is a contract service for a fixed amount. So I don't have a specific answer in the event that there are any costs over and above that. I do not have that answer.
Right.
Charlie,
How about the status of the 55 million?
Jim, do we have
How much?
I do not have an accounting of that, Chairman or Charlie. I do not have accounting of that 55 million at this point.
All right, just, if we can take a look, I don't know if that's readily discoverable, Jim, but if we can figure it out for the next meeting, let's give it a shot.
Very well. I'll be happy to do so.
All right.
Thank you both. Also wanted to just see if there was any update on the timing of the project. Perhaps I missed it. I didn't catch a redevelopment update in your agenda today. But, where we last left off, this project is, 3 or 4 months behind schedule according to the first reports from the developer. Is that still the case? I got the sense that I was more concerned than you were about it, but, I hope that things are moving in the other direction. Is there cause for concern at this time over the timeline for developing the school?
All right, I don't, Ann, we don't have an update, do we?
No, Chairman, we do not.
All right, so Charlie, we got an update last month. We don't have an update this month. So we will continue to monitor it, and whatever we find out, we will let you know. We're shooting for updates. I'd like to have quarterly updates, as that's possible, and we will continue to look at that. Try to get as much information as possible.
All right. Well, I would appreciate it. I know I have a habit of asking the same questions over and over again.
Okay.
So if you can see them coming next month, hopefully you can have some answers. Thank you.
Great. All right. Anyone else? Is there anybody else from the public?
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
No, at this time, we have no one else with their hands raised.
Right, then, motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
Be
you.
safe.
Good night, everyone.